that month has departed from us. Now the month is no more with us. But there are many things that the month of Ramadan has left with us, which we need to carry on even after the month of Ramadan. In the sense of righteousness, means that the process of righteousness must continue even after the month of Ramadan to train us. Month of Ramadan came as a call that all people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave this month of Ramadan, that prepare yourself, go towards it, and go in such a way, hasten towards the righteousness. Because when you learn to go towards righteousness, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has trained us in the month of Ramadan with the condition that this amongst the 12 months, 1 month came as a month of Ramadan in order to prepare you, in order to train you, in order to coach you, so you prepare yourself, you mold yourself into it, and after that you carry on throughout the year. You carry on throughout the year. And for that reason, when we look at the month of Ramadan, month of Ramadan was such a month that we were punctual for our salah. We were fasting in the month of Ramadan. We were reciting Holy Quran. We were giving sadaqah or khairat in the month of Ramadan. We were more kind to others. We were more helpful to others. We dealt in such a way that we became to other people as more helpful people to others. Now what happens after the month of Ramadan? Should that stop or should it continue even after the month of Ramadan? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, oh people, this month of Ramadan which I have given you, make sure that your righteousness continues even after the month of Ramadan. As you are kind in the month of Ramadan, let that kindness continue even after the month of Ramadan. As you are more conscious in the month of Ramadan, let that consciousness also continue after the month of Ramadan. As you are punctual for your salah in the month of Ramadan, let that punctuality also continue after the month of Ramadan. As you are reciting Holy Quran in the month of Ramadan, let that recitation of Quran continue after the month of Ramadan. For that reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the month of Ramadan. And the speciality of the ummah of Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam is such that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Holy Quran, Man amila sayyi'atan fala yujza illa mithlaha. That when anyone performs or does an evil, then the punishment for that evil is equal to what he has done. Only equal to what he has done. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not increase. But when it comes to reward, when it comes to amalun salih, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Man amila salihan min dhakarin aw untha wa huwa mu'minun fa ulaika yadkhuluna al-jannata. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, as when you do one evil, the punishment is equal to it. But when you do a small good deed, the reward of it will be multiplied 70 times or 100 times more, or even more than that. If you do one good deed, if you do one good deed, man amila salihan, whosoever performs good. So it means that this is the speciality of the ummah of Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, that when they do an evil, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, according to your evil or equal to your evil, you will be punished. But if you do something good, you do righteous thing, then your reward I shall multiply it by 70 times or 100 times more. So now we as ummah of Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, for us to realize that how we want to our life, that after the month of Ramadan, do we think that Islam ended? Do we think after that namaz is no more first? Righteousness is no more first? Sadaqah or khairat is done? We must wait for the next Ramadan? No. Month of Ramadan came to coach us, to train us, that let that righteousness which was inbuilt by you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which Allah installed in you in the month of Ramadan, let that carry on even after the month of Ramadan. When you go for training, the coach is training you. When you go for training, the coach trains you, teach you other things. But do you only depend on the coach, or you yourself also go and do the practice? You do practice, am I right? To make yourself better and make yourself perfect. Same way, month of Ramadan came to train us and coached us. Now it is upon us to carry on with that training. It is upon us that personally, individually, we must train ourselves and we must do practice. When there is namaz time, we must rush towards the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When somebody knocks at our door for help, if we are in the capacity and we are capable, we must help him as well. When somebody comes to us, we must show kindness to him and we must become helpful to others. And let me tell you, the doors of righteousness doesn't close even after the month of Ramadan. No, the doors of righteousness is open all the time. It's open, and whenever you will go towards righteousness, you shall find the door is open. But now, when the door, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept the door open for us. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I kept the door open for you. But if you're not willing to enter into it, what I'm going to do? The door is open. Now you need to make effort. You need to work for it. You need to strive. You need to struggle in order to enter through that door of the righteousness. So let that righteousness continue even after the month of Ramadan. That even after the month of Ramadan, we think now we are free. No more fasting. Even azan will go on. We say, it's okay, I will read it at home. Or I will go read it afterwards. Why? Why? That mentality must change. Because if we are unable to carry on after the month of Ramadan, then let me tell you, what's the benefit of having month of Ramadan? Because month of Ramadan was given to us so that the mankind, the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they train themselves, they mold themselves, they prepare themselves towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they prepare it in such a way that when they meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will welcome us by saying, tahiyyatuhum yawma yalqawnahu salam. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will welcome us with salam. But in order to receive that salam from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we need to work for it. So for that reason, we must make our minds that this shouldn't be the end of righteousness. No, it should be the beginning of the righteousness. That as we did in the month of Ramadan, we find many occasions in our life. Even we will find after the month of Ramadan to go towards righteousness. Like I was talking to one of the uncle one of the night after Salatul Taraweeh, and he says, Maulana, why 180 rand only? Why don't you make it 200? So I told that uncle, you do the righteousness, you pay 180, somebody will come and give 20 rand and it will be completed as 200. So your niyat is good. Your niyat is good. You do it. Somebody will come and will fulfill the shortcoming. So for that reason, we must have in our mind, and we must be prepared, and we must have will for it, that if I could do it in the month of Ramadan, then indeed I can do it after the month of Ramadan as well. Why not? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created me as the best of creation. Allah has created me as best of creation, and Allah has made nothing impossible for mankind, for his creation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, as long as you come to me, as long as you walk to me, and as long as you bow down to me, I shall make the whole universe as your servant. I will make the whole universe as your servant. But from you what I require, from you what I need, the courage and the striving, and you must have that courage that I can go towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي Adam, and we gave respect and honor to the children of Adam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us such a creation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you are more greater than angels. Oh mankind, oh human beings, you are more greater than angels. But do you know that why are you more greater than angels? Angels don't have nafs. Angels don't have desire. You have desire, but you kill your desire. You live your wishes and you fall yourself and you mold yourself under the wishes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and under the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For that reason you are more greater than angels. So if Allah has made us more greater than angels, then won't be the question will be more greater than angels on the day of Qiyamah? Won't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will question us that I made you the best of creation. I gave you all the ni'mat of the dunya. I gave you health. I gave you power to walk. I gave you power to see. I gave you power to hear. I gave you power to hold. I gave you everything. Now my servant, tell me, what did you do for me? What did you do for me? And that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when on the day of Qiyamah, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ikra kitabaka kafa bi nafsika al-yawma alayka hasiba, that, oh servant of Allah, read your book today. Read your book today. And reading of your own book will be sufficient for you to understand what you have brought to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What you have brought to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For that reason, on the day of Eid al-Fitr, we must rejoice, we must make gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we must make firm intention that if I could do it in the month of Ramadan, then indeed I can do it even after the month of Ramadan. And let me tell you, just having a niyyat of righteousness, just having a niyyat that no, I can do it even after the month of Ramadan. Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam said on the day of Qiyamah, when the books of the person will be given and whatever wrong things that he had done in dunya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he has oppressed other people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take all his good amal, good deeds, and will distribute to those who are oppressed by him. By the time he will have no good deed in his book, in his namay amal, no good deed remains. Now he will be worried that now what happened? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him another book, which even the Kiraman and Katibin are unaware of it. Kiraman and Katibin are also unaware of that book. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, oh my servant, read this book. And he will start reading his book. And he will see, oh, reward, 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 reward. And he will be shocked. He says, but none of those things I have done in dunya. How come Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewarded me with such? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, you are my servant, I created you. I know you haven't done it, but I have given you reward like you have done it. And do you know why? Only for one reason, that you had niyyah, you had intention of doing those righteous things, but you could not do it. And because of your righteous intention, because of your good niyyah, I have given you reward as you have done all those things. As you have done all those things on the base of your niyyah. On the basis of your niyyah, I have rewarded you like you have done all good deeds in the dunya. So for that reason, on this day of Eid al-Fitr, we must make intention that if I could do it in the month of Ramadan, indeed, and of course I can do it after the month of Ramadan. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all of us tawfiq and hidayah. Ameen. You know, look at the Ameen and look at the crowd. Last night I just mentioned in the mosque that Maulana must make dua and say Ameen for you as well. So at least let the Maulana make dua and you support the dua of Maulana with your Ameen. So will you say Ameen? Ameen. I still, it's okay, but it's a day of rejoice, so I don't want to force you. Because you are waiting for the nice mahala breakfast, inshallah. Inshallah. Indeed. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all of us tawfiq and hidayah. Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all our ibadat of the month of Ramadan. Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us from the shortcomings of our ibadat. Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all of us. Ameen. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our marhumin. Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant shifa to those who are sick. Ameen. Wherever Muslim ummah is suffering, may Allah make easy for them. Ameen. Those who are being oppressed, may Allah make easy for them. Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect our wealth, our health, and our lives.
Ameen.
And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq and hidayah to continue the act of righteousness even after the month of Ramadan.
Ameen.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all of us rizqi halal in abundance.
Ameen.
Save all of us from rizqi haram. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant amongst us love, muhabba, and unity. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our children the coolness of our eyes.
Ameen.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect our iman, iman of our children, and grant all of us death in iman while reciting kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا حبيب الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Inshallah, there is an announcement that Pretoria Miladun Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam group will be hosting its annual Miladun Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the 1st of October 2023 at the Suleimania Convention Center in Erasmia. And talk will be delivered by Hafiz Fuzel Sufi Sahab Qibla, inshallah. On Saturday, 30th September, there will be a youth program after Isha Salah at Juma Masjid Jul Sit Lodium. Please, you all are invited to take part in the celebration of the Miladun Nabi sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. And please, you can start forming your subs. If there is any gap, please make sure that the gap is filled. And those who are still standing on the hill, I know there is a better view from there, but it won't help you until you come inside the Eidgah field.
بعد الصلاة إن شاء الله.